Hey ho, Nigel Moore here, and I'm going to show you how you can create an MSP website that looks a little bit like this, or exactly like this, in probably less than 60 seconds. And I'm not joking, it's going to look like this, and I'm going to run you through how you can use it using the new Growably site builder that we have just launched inside Growably, which is our sales and marketing automation platform for MSPs that we give out to all of our members. And so first up, before we dive into it, you know what it's like when you get into trying to build a website for you or for anybody. You jump into the system here like a WYSIWYG editor, and you jump in here and you go, crap, I've got a blank page. Where the heck do I start? And you click over here and you might go, I'm going to add a full width section, and I'm going to click add rows, and I'm going to put an element on here, and I'm going to drag an image up there, and then I'm going to have to upload my logo, and I'm going to have to do all of this stuff. And about 10 hours goes by and you've got a barely looking good page in there. And so we want to fix that inside Growably so that you as an MSP owner can quickly throw up a site if you've got nothing, or if you've got something that's old or whatever, to be able to give you a much nicer looking site really quickly. So I've got a bunch of points I'm going to run through on this video. Please stick with it. There is a bunch of little steps you're going to need to know before you use the Growably site builder to avoid breaking things or blowing things up, which can happen. Because we use the high level, or Growably is built on top of the high level platform, we're a little bit feature constrained in what we can do in here. So we've had to do some workarounds to make this whole thing work in here. And there's some of those things that I want to show you in this video today to make sure that you use it in the best possible way as fast as possible to get web pages looking like this thing here, up and running in 60 seconds or less. Of course, I'm being a little bit facetious there. You're going to have to update your copy, and you're going to have to edit and tweak things on there and whatnot. But this page here, I actually pulled this page together in about 60 seconds from the time I click start on it. Then you've obviously got to go in and put some more work in it from there. But we're saving you hours and hours worth of time trying to design a page that looks like this. So let's get started. I've got a couple of notes that I want to run through. The first one is what this is we've made 173 different elements, or we've actually purchased them from somewhere else, and then we've kind of tweaked and fine-tuned and made them MSP specific and made them Growably specific, and then improved and added a few and whatnot over the last month or so. We've been working our rear ends off on this. Andrew Moon has been working hard on it. I have spent, I don't know, maybe 100 hours in here. Fatima on my team's been working very hard, and we've created 173 elements that you can use to create pages or websites very easily. And so we're going to run through this. I'm going to scroll down here. I'm not going to scroll down through everything all in one go because I don't want you reading the rest of it until we get to that point. But the way to start using this thing is when you go into your Growably and you click on the sites in the left-hand corner here, you will now see this Growably website builder in here. The blog builder is coming. That will be soon after this video, within a couple of weeks. We've got to go and finish building that one. But for now, we've got the website builder. And you can see after here, there's this warning here that says clone me. I think in the live version, we've actually got some red traffic light things in there just warning you to clone me. Do not edit or work inside this particular website here, because if you do and we push out some updates, we're going to override what you have made, and we could turn your website offline, which we don't want to do. So do not pass go until you click on these three dots over here and click clone, and then work in the clone that you're going to do. So if I was to do it here, I'm going to create a copy or whatever. I'll just call it Tech Tribe website. Clone the website. That's going to take a few minutes to clone. It takes a couple of minutes to copy all the elements across. So I'm not actually going to go in and work in the Tech Tribe one now. So I will go into this one here, which I'm telling you to clone. So don't do what I'm doing. Wait until your proper one comes up in here. But go into it, and when you go in there, you will see all of these pages in here. Now, you don't have to touch any of these pages. All you need to do is, you can see this one up here that says open me before using. Click this little button here, this little gray preview page button here, and it will open up that particular page in a new window. And this page here shows you all of the elements, and the video that I'm recording now is going to go over here, but it shows you all of the elements that you've now got access to. These are these 173 different elements. So we've got navigation bars with hero blocks, welcome blocks, headline blocks. They're all the top sections. So they're all the sections you normally have up the top of a website. Then we've got all the body sections in here. You've got text blocks and media blocks and call to action blocks and call out process, pricing tables, image galleries, event blocks, testimonial blocks, feature cards, team blocks. All of those things are all blocks that you can drag out onto your pages that are pre-designed for you. So they're all the body sections in here. And then last but not least, you've got the sections that go down the bottom of a website or a web page, and they're typically the contact us or the maps or the footers sections. So they're broken down into the sections here. And so if you go in here and you open any of these in a new window, so I'm just going to click the middle mouse button, open some of these in a new window. I'll use what do we got over here? Pricing tables, testimonials, team is a good one, and I'll put the footers down here. And if you open these up in your windows, you'll see that they open these pages here that show you all the particular blocks that are included in that section. So this one here that I'm on at the moment are the navigation blocks. And so this one here, between this purple area here and this purple area here is navigation block 1, which its code is ANAV001. And I'll talk to you about that in a moment, what the codes mean. But you can see that if you want a navigation bar that looks like that, you need to remember, I want navigation block 1. If you scroll down and you look down here and you go, no, I really like this one here with the dark background and the logo and my phone number over there, then you want navigation block 6, right? And so that's, each of these pages has all the different blocks on it. Here's the hero blocks, and you can scroll down and you can see all the different hero blocks that we've got in here, and you might want this one here, and you go, that's hero large 7. You see these A, B, and C in front of them. I'll explain all of that in a moment as well. But essentially, you're looking at this code here is exactly what you need to be able to drag these blocks out. If we go over to pricing table, you see, I think we've got 3 or 4 pricing tables. You scroll down here. This one here, we kind of added a few things in there just to show you if you're going to be one of those MSPs that likes putting their pricing up on their website. That's a continually heated debate in the MSP world as to whether you should put your pricing on your website. Some MSPs love doing it. Some MSPs hate doing it and recommend no one does it. But if you are, then you can use pricing page or blocks like this. And you can see that that's pricing blocks are in section K. And this one here is pricing block 001. You go down to the next purple section, and the section below that is pricing block 002, and so on. So that's how you go and figure out what you want to put on a page. Now, as I said right at the very beginning, when we're back on, when I go back to this particular page back here, you can see the Tech Tribe one's now built and cloned in there. So I should technically go and work in that one now, but this one here is in a work in progress account that we use, so it doesn't matter whether I break it in here. I'm going to delete it as soon as we finish this. But so if I've cloned and I've gone into there, you will, as I say on this point here, make sure you clone, because we will overwrite things and you will 100% lose your entire website, and something Growably will pop up instead of your website if you don't do that clone. So make sure you do that clone. But it also means that you can easily, once you've cloned, as you saw back there, you can see that the other one, if you make changes in your one and you go, crap, I want to see what that originally was because I overwrote what's in there, you can always go back to the original one and see what it was in there. You can always go back and revert your changes or see what they were. Right, so as I said, the point number 2 here was open me first. That was that page that we open up, which is this page here, which just shows you all of the different things that are included, and then I've shown you how to identify what particular blocks that you want. What we are going to do right now is, let me make sure that I'm up to that in the process. Sorry, I'll just run through naming convention and order just very quickly. You will see in all of these things here that they've got a little code in front of them, Z and whatever, or actually it's probably easier to show on this page here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, blah, 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 all the way down to X, Y, and Z. Now, the reason they've got that order there, or that letter there, is that the high-level system categorizes things only via alphabetical order. That's the only way that we can get them categorized in there. And so we put these in alphabetical order so that they sort via typically the way that you want to create a page. So A, B, C, D, E, and F are typically things you want up the top of a page. So they're going to be up the top of the area that we're going to scroll in shortly. All of these ones here in the middle of the page, and then we've left X, Y, and Z right at the very end. And so we can fill up, if we add any more elements, we can put them in here after Q. And so that's what the naming convention is for, in the order of it. Each block has a name. This one here is called Navigation 001 and a code. We could probably go by with just having the code in there, but this one, for ease of memory, it's Navigation 1. And because navigation blocks, we want them to be sorted right at the very top, they've got A at the beginning, and you can see the code on this one here is Nav001. So how do we get all of these on a page? So we go into our, I'm going to work in this one just because I've created a test page in here, but we go into our site that we've cloned in here, and we scroll up the top here and we click on add new page. And I'm just going to create a test website or test homepage, right? Put it at home or whatever we want to put it. Now that will create a blank page. I scroll down here and I can see that blank page down here. So what I want to do here is then I want to go and click edit and open this in a new window so that you've still got, I find it helpful to have this one open down here. And what it does is it opens up this page builder here, the Growably or high level page builder. It takes a moment to load. And then here comes the easy fun part. So instead of having to click on all these things and trying to drag all these elements out and create all these things individually, we've now got everything showing up here in global sections. So if you click on global sections, you can see there's all those codes that we talked about, all in the alphabetical order that I was talking about as well. So it goes from A all the way down to Z down the bottom. We've got a couple of things that make part of our navigation down there, so you can ignore those last two. But if I want to go and build a page that looks like our page back here, all I need to do is go and remember, as I'm flicking through those pages, I just need to go and remember what those codes are. I'll write them down, as I have done here. You'll see that I've created a basic page here. So I'm going to put navigation 6, hero image large 1, and process 1. My ADHD brain doesn't remember things very well, so I'm going to have to go a few times on this. But if I go navigation 6, so I scroll down to nav 6 and I drag it out, that puts my navigation bar there. Then I go hero large 1 and process 1, so I click on add global sections. So it was hero 1, so C large hero 1, and then the next one was process 1 as well. I should remember these, they're all number 1. So I scroll down to process, which is... Where's process? I should have remembered the letter of it. Let's see. Remember the letters of these things. It's going to make it easier for you to scroll down and find where they are. Here we go. It's J. So process 1, I'm going to drag that out. This means it's going to take me longer than 60 seconds because I've forgotten the numbers here. What do we got next? We need to get testimonial 10. So let's say we now want to put a testimonial section there and then a pricing block. So we're going to go testimonial sections there down here. So what number was testimonial? Testimonial 10 and pricing 1. So we'll drag a testimonial block out here down the bottom. That puts this little testimonial block here. Now we want a pricing section if we're one of those MSPs that throws pricing up on our website. So pricing is here. Let's do pricing block 1. We throw that up there, and then say we want another testimonial now, another testimonial just before we finish off the page with a footer. So I'm going to choose 13, which is one of my favorites. Get it down there. So that now puts another 3 block of testimonials down there. And finally, we will finish off with footer. I think it's footer 7 is my favorite. There you go, footer 7. So footer 7, drag, drop down there, and voila! We now have the web page built, ready to press save and update the copy and whatever. But that there, it would have saved you hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of design time if you're looking to build these pages out yourself. And I've just used 6 or 7 of the elements there out of the 173 that are included in the platform. So that's how you build a basic page. Now, before you get started, you have to watch the rest of this video because there is some nuances to how to use the platform or how to use the systems in here. And so the first thing I'm going to show you is this notion of global sections versus my layout in there. And you would have seen me click on this section thing up here and click on add sections. And every time I clicked on global sections over here, and it showed me all of those sections in here. Now, global sections I've got a couple of different things in here. So global sections can only be, there's only one instance of a global section per site. So if we go back to this entire site here, if I update any of these global sections on any of these pages, then it updates the same global section on every single other page that we've ever used that global section. So that makes it perfect for things like headers and footers that are going to be the exact same on every single page of your site. So down here, this footer is going to be awesome for a global section. This header up here is also going to be awesome for a global section. But what about if you wanted to add a hero image, this hero image here, on one page, and then you want to use the exact same element on another page in your site, but tweak it around a little bit. You might have a different call to action, and you might have some different copy here. The way to do that is that's where you use the My Layout section instead. So when you go into here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to essentially create a clone of that particular section. So let's say it's hero large 001 that you've dragged out somewhere. If we go across to our manage thing here, you can see that we've already dragged out hero large 001. But if we want to create a copy of that we can edit so that it only just stays in one location rather than editing it globally across our entire site, we go into this sections thing here. You've got to make sure you drag it out to a page first. You can just do that temporarily. Then you go into this section here and you'll see the hero large 001. And what you want to do there is click the save button. And you can see here that you can save it either as a global section. If you want to create a brand new global section for yourself in your site, feel free. But the default is template here. And if I just put this here as new hero or custom hero or whatever I want to call it, custom hero section, and save that section, Now, when I go to any page in there, this might take a moment to save, but now when I go to any page in this add section here and I go to my layout, you'll see that I've got a custom hero section here. And if I drag that out, I can make changes to this section here and it won't affect this one up here. Whereas if I made changes to this one up here and I dragged this same global section out on any other page in my website, those changes would be reflected across all of them. This one here doesn't have that. So when it's in my layouts, it can work. It's essentially a single instance of that on each individual page that you drag it out onto. The other limitation with global sections is that you can only have one per page. So you'll see if I go back in here and I try to add, I think that was, what was the, let's have a look, the navigation 6. If I try to add navigation 6 up there again, navigation 6, it will pop up an error saying this section is already added. So global sections, you can only add one per page. So that's why it's perfect for headers and footers, because you're not going to have a header and footer on multiple pages. We start these things all off as global sections so that you can update them and figure out whatever you want to change on them and whatever and tweak them, and then work out whether you want to clone them into your own personal or my layout options in there. As I said, great for headers and footers. With layout, each instance is unique. You can have many of them per page versus only one per page in global. And it's great for anything other than headers and footers. And I've just shown you how to clone a global to my layout. So it's a little bit tricky to get your head around the first time. It took me a little bit just to work my head around how high level deals with that whole thing and how we had to do it. But once you get your head around it, it makes complete sense and it's very easy to use and makes it highly customizable. So headers, footers, use global. Most other things, clone it into a my layout. Unless you're only going to use that element once on a page and once throughout your entire site, then leave it as a global section. It won't cause a problem. But the minute you try and go to use it a second time on another page, it will have to be the exact same as the other one that's on your other page in there. So hopefully that explains that part. Custom values inside Growably. If I got Growably open anywhere in here, yeah. So over here in Growably, if you go into your settings, I might have to move me around a little bit, but if you go into your settings, we've got this notion of custom values in here that High Level have built. And when we rolled out and created your Growably account, we create a bunch of custom values in here. And you can see these are all the custom values that we created. There's 14 of them. There's 2 pages of them. And they're just some basics of things that once you set them in here, we've set the system so that they work throughout the entire Growably. So they work in websites and funnels and landing pages and forms and emails and all sorts of stuff like the marketing automation system. So and it all gets used via variables here. You would all be very well aware of how variables work. And so what we've done in here is you see that we've by starting off, we put in a dark background color. Now that's our dark background color because we don't know yours when we get your account set up. So you've got to come in here and click the edit button into your custom values and change that to your dark background color. Perhaps yours is dark blue or dark purple or whatever it happens to be. And there's a few other things in here like what's the URL for your logo that works well on a dark background, and what's the URL for your logo that works well on a light background, and what's your primary brand color, and what's your secondary brand color. And if you fill all of these things here out, then on a lot of these pages, we actually have them coded in here so that orange there will change to, that orange there is our secondary color for the Tech Tribe. As you know, it's used in our logo. If you go and update your custom value over in here to whatever your secondary color is, then these pages here will instantly, like anywhere where we've updated this section here to a custom value, will instantly show your secondary color, not ours. The same with the logo there. The instant you go and update this to your logo's URL, which you can upload here in the media section, and you get a URL to it, which looks like this, then your logo will show up on all of these pages wherever the logo shows up, because we've used a custom value to show the logo rather than actually showing the logo in there. It's essentially using variables throughout the whole site. Which is really, really, really cool. It allows us to roll things out to all of you, and then they immediately start looking like your stuff without you even having to update logos and colors and all that sort of stuff. It takes on your branding straight away, as long as you once go into custom values in your settings and just make sure that these are all updated to you. You can see we've got things for your Facebook page and your LinkedIn page and your name and your email, and that's for the marketing automation system in there when you're sending emails. There's a couple more over here of terms of use and policies and whatever, and we use them as custom variables in different things throughout the platform. So that's what custom values are. It makes it very easy. You will be able to see in, if I go into one, have I got one open here? Yeah, like if I go into this one here, for instance, and I want to change look at the background of this element here, you'll see that the background color here is if I click on update here, you'll see that it's the custom values secondary color. So whatever you have in your secondary color is going to be put into the background of that particular thing there. So it won't show orange for you. If you set your secondary color to bright hot pink, then the background on this particular element here will be bright hot pink. You can manually go in and update the colors on these things to whatever the heck it is you want, but we think it's far easier to just go and do it once in the custom settings and then just use these variables everywhere when you're using colors. So that is how custom values work. There's one little tricky tweaky thing in here that I'm going to show you in two of the sections in here. So if I go back to our page here in, I think it's navs with hero block. Let me just have a look. Yeah, so navs with hero. If I go into our navs with hero block here, so I'm going to open that in a new window to see all the elements on there. There is 2 or 3 different types of elements that if we scroll down this page, you can see these are all normal. They've just got a single section code. But as we scroll down the page, we get to this one here. As you can see, it's this block here. So this thing here with business name and these 3 things here. You can see that this has actually got 2 codes in it. It's nav hero 5 and it's nav hero 6. Now, the reason being is that to be able to create this thing to look like this with these hovering cards that go over different sections here, you need to actually drag out 2 elements. So what you do in that instance is you say, okay, well, if I want the header of my site to look like this, then I need to drag out bnav005, and then immediately beneath it, I drag out bnav hero 006, whatever that is. And so when you drag hero 5 out, you'll see that it'll drag out, but it won't have these pop-up hovering cards on it. And when you drag out 06, it will then have the hovering cards on it. So you'll see a couple of them in the system. Here's another one here. You can see that that's 08 and 09 make it so that there's those hover cards there as well. So that should be nice and easy once you get used to it. What else do I have to run through before I press end on this video? Right, so let's say that you've gone and created a website. You've gone and built a page, or you built a couple of pages, a home page, an about us page, or a team page, and a contact us page, and you've saved them all inside your. Let me just go back to what's the easiest way. I'm going to go back in this one here. I'm going to leave that page because I don't want to save it for now. But let's say we've gone and created our page, and we've got 3 or 4 pages in there. Now you will then see that inside your inside the site section of your Growably, once it loads over here, sometimes this page takes a little while to load because it's got so many elements on it and preview elements on it. But you'll see that you will have created a couple of pages that will show up down the bottom here, because this page here sorts in page creation date. So you will have a home page, an about us page, and a whatever page. After you've done all of them, if you don't want all of this other stuff showing around, this ABCs and open me before using all the way down to Z, you're welcome to click on these and press delete. Right? They don't need to be in there. You can then just, once you've used them, they only exist to show you and to create this page here and all these pages to show you what they look like. We push them into there to show you what they look like. Once you're done with them, you can go and delete them. They're not necessary for you to run the site. All of the stuff happens via those global sections, which are stored behind the scenes, not actually in there. And so that's it. It is nice and easy. We will be coming out with a blog builder very shortly, which allows you to create a blog. It's High Level's got some more blog functionality coming very soon, so we're kind of holding off a little bit to see what that's going to look like, because High Level doesn't have native blog functionality just yet in there. But the basics of that one are simple. Literally go in there. Do not do anything until you click that clone button. Otherwise, like if you send us a help desk ticket saying, you guys have just overwritten my website, we're going to point you back to this video and say, guys, please just click the clone button. Do not use this thing until you click the clone button, because we don't want to overwrite anybody's website in there. And the way that the High Level platform works is we've got no control over that. And so we can only click a button that pushes our updates out to every single person all at once, overriding anything that you might have changed in there. So if you go into this one here and you edit a global section, and then we update a global section and we push that change out to everybody, your global section updates will get overwritten in there. So make sure you go and clone that site. But that's about it. Enjoy. Hopefully within, it's not going to be 60 seconds, but within minutes/hours, you'll be able to put together some basic sites that are going to look like this. And often I see so many MSP sites out there that look like The poor MSPs have gone out and worked with an agency, but they've put together these horrific looking websites that are horrible, and they look like they're from the 1980s or 1990s. And when we've made it now this easy to go and throw up something different, it might take you a couple of hours, maybe a few nights a week to just go in and build a basic site out. You can start with something very basic, but this will give you something that should and could and will, as long as you get all your branding updated, look a lot better than what a lot of MSP sites are out there. And so we've got loads more things that we're working on and creating and building behind the scenes. We've got some campaigns. We're going to have some landing pages. We're going to have all sorts of different things that we're going to be launching. But for now, we just wanted to get this one out so that you can, for anybody that's trying to struggle to create a website, you can go and get them created much faster. So that's all from me in this particular video. Enjoy. Any questions, always let the Growably support team know. This particular thing that we have built here, this site builder, or that we've purchased and or upgraded essentially and added all our own tweaks to it. It's not known by the Growably support team that we use to handle it, because it's a custom thing that we've added on top. So you may need to ask inside the Tech Tribe community if you get stuck on anything in there, inside the Growably section, if you get stuck, and ask for help in there, and either another Tech Tribe member will see and be able to help you out. You're welcome, if it's a specific thing around this site builder, to also email help@thetechtribe.com if you want our specific help on it, and we'll do the best we possibly can to help you out. With that said, enjoy. Any questions, let us know. Please don't, at this stage, request any changes, because we're already diving into the next project to go and build. There is enough in here to get any MSP started with an awesome website. We will, once we come out from the weeds of creating a bunch of other things that we're working on at the moment, we may end up adding a few more sections to this. But for now, there is tons in there. Get using it. Put the time into just crafting some unique copy and whatever for you, and get yourself a nice flash looking website or some pages up there. That's all from me now. Bye. I'll see you in the next video.